we are now starting the Asia Sports and Sustainability webinar. Today, we have 3 guest speakers who are doing original work in the field. I'm sure we'll learn a lot and get new ideas. I hope you enjoy the session and feel inspired. Before we begin, let me introduce our co-hosting members. Dr. Huang from National Tsinghua University, Mr. Haruki Sawada from Green Sports Alliance Japan, Dr. Chen from Taiwan Society for Sport Management, and Dr. Ie from National Taiwan Sport University. We also have 4 supporting members: Astrid, Amy, Angelina from National Tsinghua University, and Mari Suzuki from Green Sports Alliance Japan, and myself, Shinji, the facilitator for today. Okay, now I'll explain today's agenda. First, Mr. Haruki Sawada from GS Japan will introduce the guest speakers. Then we will have 3 inspirational talks, each about 12 or 15 minutes. After each talk, we will have a quick Q&A session. The whole webinar will be about 1 hour. We hope you can stay with us until the end. Let's begin the session. Haruki, please introduce guest speakers.
Okay. The first speaker is Mr. Stefan Wagner from Germany. In 2023, he co-founded the international non-profit platform SPORTS20 as a framework for fully transformed sports world. And at TSG Hoffenheim, a German Bundesliga club, he has been responsible for the corporate development department since year 2017. Second speaker is Mr. Mao-Jui Huang from Taiwan. He is a project manager in the sports traditions for Net Zero Life project, funded by the National Science and Technology Council, under the Department of Recreation and Leisure Industry Management at National Taiwan Sports University since November 2023. Third speaker is Mr. Shinji Okazaki from Japan. He is a former professional football player, La Liga ambassador, Shin-Troiden ambassador, sports director of Meister Group, FC Basara Mainz, and FC Basara Hyogo. Today, he is here as a specially appointed lecturer of International Pacific University.
Hey, thank you. Yes, thank you, Haruki. Now let's move on to the presentation. Stefan, would you kindly begin your presentation?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, actually, everybody from your side. I try to share my screen now.
Yes, please.
I hope it is working. And here, I hope you see my presentation. Maybe you can confirm because I don't see you anymore.
That's okay.
Good. Thank you very much. I'm happy, really honored to introduce SPORTS20 framework and our idea with SPORTS20. My co-founder Tanya Farkar and I, we have decades of experience in the sports world. On my side, it's more than 25 years in different organizations and clubs, and since more than 50 years in the direction of sustainability strategies with different organizations at the moment, such as the German Ice Hockey League, TSG Hoffenheim, as Haruki mentioned. And when it comes to sustainability in sports, from our point of view, the problem is that many organizations are on the road and they introduce and implement steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you go to them and say, okay, that's really great what you have done, what you have achieved, but now you have to move on and do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the reaction always is, or very often is, well, we are still a football club, or we are an event or whatever, and we have to look at our core business, because the problem is that we don't look at it from the end. What goal do we have to reach at the end of the day? This is where SPORTS20 starts, because we decided to define the goal first and then backcast what we have to do the next day. And I guide you through the why, the what and the how, and here's why. Obviously, we are facing multiple crises. Most threatening is the climate crisis, as you all know, and we see that the progress is far too slow. But we have a clear mandate. We have agreed on the 17 SDGs, which you all know, but well, actually we are not getting the job done. There's a study saying that we have reached something around 15%, and we are halfway through. So everybody who can do math a little bit knows that it's not fast enough and not good enough what we are doing at the moment. Looking at the SDGs, we often see that that it's too complicated for most organizations to implement them. And so what they do is what we call SDG picking and SDG washing. So they pick the three SDGs which fit or most suitable for their own business model, how it is today, and they use SDG washing, which means that sometimes they donate something like a few hundred or a few thousand euros or dollars to a non-profit organization, and then they believe that they have done something to fulfill the SDGs, but that's actually not what the SDGs are meant to be. And this is what we try to underline with SPORTS20. It's not a peripheral function where it's a kind of nice to have when the core business is okay and I have a little bit money left, then I contribute something to the SDGs. That's not the idea. The idea is to implement the SDGs into your core business. And this is our main approach to address this. Because if we continue like this to really look at the top of the hill from the bottom, we never will reach it. Even though we all agree on the goal of a healthy, peaceful, social, and sustainable world, and so we turn things around and define the goal first, and then, as I said in the very beginning, trying to backcast what we have to do from there to reach that goal. Why sports? I think it's not really difficult to explain. I think sports is the most interesting industry to affect people, to unite people, to address things, to put things on the agenda. And so and there's money behind it, and there's also emotional power behind it. So, like no other sector, sport can influence what we believe in, what we think, what we do. What we have done is to look at more or less every existing framework, and what we've seen is that they are quite too narrow in terms of one framework addresses nature, and the other one addresses something for events, and another one addresses something for climate or gender equality or anything else, but it's not holistic. There's no holistic framework in the market. And we try to create such a framework which is meaningful, measurable, and manageable. Otherwise, organizations wouldn't do that. And so what we've done is to look at the perspective of the sport organization and to point out what do you have to do to minimize the footprint, and even more important from our point of view is how do we maximize our handprint. So how do we maximize what we can contribute to the society? How can we influence society outside our own institutional borders? And so if you give a handbook with 17 SDGs to an organization, they wouldn't manage to do that, because there's much too complicated. There are 169 under goals in the framework of the SDGs, and so it's not manageable. So what we've done is to translate them into 6 areas of action out of the perspective of the sports organization, which is responsible management and leadership, sustainability in your local context, the responsible treatment of people, the responsible management of your supply chain, responsible circular resources, and minimizing the negative effects of your own operations. So something you have to deal with each and every day in your normal business day. And in a more than 18 months workflow, we have turned the SDGs into these areas of action and try to emphasize what do you have to do to fulfill the SDGs in your areas of action to minimize your footprint and to maximize your handprint. And then what you see here is we call it the magic within a framework. We have defined 3 main headlines for each area of action, for the footprint and the handprint. And below that, obviously, it's more defined. There are KPIs behind it and so on. But if you fulfill these headlines in your own organizational context, then you will, as you see here, you will fulfill the SDGs just through your daily business and through the your normal organizational work without diving too deep into the SDGs, for example. And which is important as well. What is important as well is that we don't address it only in the direction of sports. We look at the whole ecosystem of sports because sports alone wouldn't succeed. We need partners around the world of sports, and it's, compared to others, easy for the world of sports to really create those partnerships, to influence politics, to do the right things, and to decide in a way that sports is able to contribute, to transform in the right direction and to fulfill the SDGs, as I just showed. And this is the reason why we call ourselves Sports20. We are convinced that sports is a really good mirror or a focus point of our society to address the things needed from the political side to be able to transform in the right way. And there are many other engagement groups around the G20 world, such as Youth 20, Women's 20, Business 20, Foundations 20, and we believe it's a very good idea to put the world of sports on the table when it comes to politics, to use sport and as an example for the transformation we need in all areas of our societies. And one very important thing is that we are based in Germany actually, but we don't want to be a German framework or a German initiative. We want to act worldwide, and we want to point out the different perspectives around the globe, because the status quo obviously in Taiwan or Japan is different than in Germany or in Kenya or in Brazil, but we all share the same goal. And so this is the reason why it's so important to look at different starting points but define the same goal for all of us. This was our start at the COP28, at the climate conference in Dubai 1.5 years ago. We had the first slot in the German pavilion with the best live stream performance during the whole conference, and we have had another slot at the WWF Panda Hub. If you look at it closely, then you also see Haruki in there in the picture, because we introduced our international network there. Afterwards, last year we have been around the G20 presidency of Brazil at a Climate Solutions Forum of the Foundations 20 in Rio de Janeiro to introduce our framework there with really a good response, because all those foundations who really deep dive into all the topics of the SDGs since decades, they say, okay, what we need is translation into the mainstream, and this is something sport can deliver. And we have a partnership with GALCA, which is a league association of the Premier League in football in Ghana. And the president here in front, he said to us during our time in the workshop that he has many problems on the economy side, like too few sponsors, media rights are not delivered or sold in the right way, spectators going down and so on. But the most important thing we have to address is the climate crisis, because often we cannot play anymore because of heat waves or because of heavy rainfalls. And so this is really interesting that such a, compared to others, weak league addresses the climate crisis first, while others who have the resources say we have to look at our core business at the first time. And we really had like an hour interviews on the main sports TV shows in Ghana, in the country during that time. And we also working together with the grassroots football association in Kenya. They have literally nothing, and so how can we help them to sustain their business from the scratch? And we're doing different workshops around the globe, such as in Rio with the Jajia Taekwondo Association, in Ghana and in Germany with experts for energy, infrastructure, stadium buildings, mobility, and other things. And this is what we are looking at the moment, is what's coming up, our own first Global Sports and Sustainability Forum in Cape Town in the end of the May, together with the Foundations 20, who has their annual meeting there at the same time. Later in the year, we will attend in Nairobi at the Africa Football Business Summit to define a sustainability strategy for the AFCON. We will attend at the COP in Belém this year and try to create a joint event with the Jajia Taekwondo Association to launch really a great project from them to implement a worldwide global martial arts coalition for sustainable development, and we deliver the framework for them. This is what I just mentioned. I think I'm running out of time, so I try to close briefly. So really great things ahead. We're really happy about the worldwide coalition and the ambition around the globe, and this is what unites us, and this is what we need. And so to all of you, let's save this planet together. It's the only one with sport. Thank you very much. And
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for your presentation. Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. Here we have two questions for you. First question is, effective stakeholder engagement means collective action. How would you communicate various stakeholders, such as sports fans, venue operators, hosts, and corporate sponsors, to support your sustainability initiatives?
I think that's key, to invite all the stakeholders to be part of the solution. And we are not finger pointing at anybody, because we are all part of the problem at the moment. And we have to be really honest on that. And so this is it. And having that, given that this is the baseline, we have to really point out that now we have to turn the sides, change the sides to the solution. And so we need business, we need the economy, we need policy makers, we need sports institutions, we need fans, we need media, and so on. And so this is, no one will solve it alone.
Oh, okay, thank you. And one more question. Today is from Asia, now in Tokyo. Do you have any potential initiative which you would like to do together in Asia? Anything?
Well, first of all, we are really happy about the cooperation with the Green Sports Alliance Japan. So this is really our first connection into the Asian market. We have the Martial Arts Coalition with many, obviously, with many organizations in the Asian region. And we are working together with the Hong Kong Rugby Club at the moment. They have implemented the sustainability strategy recently. So obviously Asia is a really, really important market and important place for the transformation we need.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It was great to hear from Germany. Thank you again, Stefan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Let's go on to the second session. Mr. Fan, Dr. Fan, please start your presentation.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. and I'm very happy to be here today to share with the topic of carbon footprint assessment in sports center. Sorry. Okay. Let's take a look at today's outline. First, we will go over the background and the purpose of the carbon footprint assessment. Then I will share our real-world experience, talk about the results and suggestions. At the end, I will give a few policy ideas and a short conclusion. Simply said, carbon footprint assessment means counting how much carbon dioxide is produced from our daily activities. It's like keeping a notebook, but instead of tracking money, we track how much we are affecting the earth. So why do we do this in sports center? We have three main goals. One, to support the government net zero policy and make sports centers good examples of eco-friendly places. Two, to turn sports centers into everyday spaces for green living. Three, to use scientific methods to clearly measure environmental impacts. Our aim is to find out which parts of the center use the most energy, suggest ways to improve, and provide useful references for both operators and policymakers. Our goal is to do carbon footprint assessment for 4 large sports centers. So far, we have finished 2, one in Xinzhuang, New Taipei City, and one in Nangang, Taipei City. The other 2 in Yonghua, Tainan City, and Pingdong City are still in progress. We started with Xinzhuang and Nangang because both are located in dense urban areas and have very high usage. Each receives over 1 million visits per year. Since their operations are intense, they also produce more emissions. This makes them perfect examples for identifying hotspots and testing carbon reduction strategies. The Xinzhuang Civil Sports Center in New Taipei City is one of the largest sports centers in Taiwan. It offers a wide range of facilities, including standard swimming pool, fitness center, and badminton courts. It also served as a competition venue during the 2017 Taipei Universiade, showing its capacity and importance on national level. The Nangang Sports Center in Taipei City has 12 floors and offers 14 types of sports facilities, including swimming pool, a diving pool, and an archery range. It is the only sports center in Taipei that can host international level competitions, and it has already held several international events. So how do we do the carbon footprint assessment? We follow the international standard ISO 14067 and look at the whole sports center as a service product. We calculated how much carbon was generated during the life cycle of the service, including the procurement phase, the service phase, and the waste management phase. We also follow the guideline from Taiwan's Ministry of Environment called the Venue Service PCR, Product Category Rules. The guideline required us collect many types of data, including energy use like electricity, gas, and diesel, water use, cleaning and maintenance materials, waste disposal, equipment information, and even how employees travel to work. We got this data from real bills and records such as electricity bills, gas bills, water bills, purchase records, and waste collection reports. This data helped us calculate the carbon footprint. Now let's take a look at the results from the two sports centers. Based on the data, Xinjiang's total emissions are about 2.93 million kilogram CO2 equivalent, while Nangang is 1.96 million. At first glance, Xinjiang seems higher, but this is due to its larger size and more facilities. When we normalize by area and operating time, Nangang actually has a higher carbon intensity, 26.23 grams per square meter per hour, compared to 20.68 for Xinjiang. We also found the differences in emission resources. Nangang's emissions are mostly from service phase, like air conditioning and lighting. In contrast, Xinjiang shows significant emissions from the procurement phase, such as cleaning supplies and material use. Now let's look deeper into the hotspots. The places for Xinjiang Sports Center, the top emission source is electricity, mainly used for air conditioning, pools, pumps, and the lighting. The second highest is fragrance leakage from the air conditioning air system, which contributes a large share due to the maintenance and equipment aging. Okay, here. Natural gas use, mostly for hot water and showers, comes next. Waste disposal and the diesel generator use are smaller contributors. This tells us our priority should be managing energy use, improving equipment operation habits, and tightening air conditioning maintenance. At Nangang Sports Center, electricity is aging. It is again the top emission source, just like in Xinjiang. However, a key difference is staff commuting is the second largest source. This is because many employees rely on private vehicles like scooters or cars. Refrigerant leakage comes next, followed by the natural gas used for hot water and showers. Waste disposal is also a visible contributor, slightly higher than in Xinjiang. This shows that beyond equipment and facilities, staff behavior and commuting patterns can also impact overall emissions. Both centers use a lot of air conditioning, especially in pools and fitness areas. But for lighting, Nangang uses more due to its enclosed layout, while Xinjiang benefits from natural daylight, and needs fewer lights. So even a similar function, building design can lead to big energy differences. Based on this, we gave different carbon reduction suggestions for each center. In Xinjiang, we found that the most carbon comes from electricity and the refrigerant leaks. We suggest simple ways to manage power use and check the air conditioning systems more carefully. For natural gas, waste, and generators, small changes in daily work can also help a lot. The idea is to save energy without spending too much money. In Nangang, most carbon comes from electricity and staff commuting. We suggest using lights and air conditioning or when necessary. We also suggest helping staff use greener transport. Other small changes like fixing leaks and sorting waste can also lower carbon without high costs. When we try to save energy, we don't start by buying new machines. First, we make small changes in how we operate, like turning off lights, opening windows, and checking equipment often. Some upgrades, like switching to LED lights, are also easy to get good results. Let's rethink saving power. It's about being smart, not losing comfort. Now let's take a closer look at energy saving ideas for each high energy use system. In Xinzhuang, the swimming pool uses the most electricity, about 70%. We suggest using a cover and a better system to keep the heat and save energy. For the parking lot, fitness center, and classroom, we suggest turning lights and air conditioning only when needed. Small changes in timing and use can save a lot of power. In Nangang, the fitness center uses the most power, over 23%. We suggest adjusting air conditioning and the lights based on how many people are inside. The swimming pool can save more energy by using a cover and a system that reuses heat. Other areas like the badminton court, archery range, and the classroom can save power by turning lights and cooling on only when needed. Swimming pools use a lot of energy, but we have smart way to save. First, using a pool cover keeps the water warm and stops heat from escaping. Second, the dual function dehumidifier dries the air and sends the heat back to warm the water. Third, a movable pool floor can cover the water when not in use, keeping heat inside. These are not just ideas. Schools in centers in Taiwan, like Liyuan Elementary School and the Wenshan Special School, are already using them. And many global examples show they really work. Now let's see how good your rules and planning can help make these ideas work. From what we have seen, cutting carbon isn't just the new tech. It needs long-term systems and teamwork. First, the government can give rewards, set clear rules, and include carbon performance in bids and ratings. Second, center operators should build teams that understand energy and make carbon tracking part for everyday work. Third, the public can join in through the fun ideas like a green sports passport or carbon points for working out. When everyone takes part, saving energy becomes a shared habit Now let's give a short summary of today's sharing. In closing, sports centers are not just a place to stay healthy. They can also lead the way to a greener life. We saw how day-to-day operations, behaviors, and policies all work together. And we just getting started. More centers will be added soon. We welcome new ideas and partners. Let's keep working together and make sports and sustainability a normal part of city life. Thank you for listening. We look forward to future collaboration.
Thank you, Dr. Fang. Very detailed carbon assessment has been made in Taiwan. Yeah. Here we have two questions for you. First question, about the carbon emission of the sports venue. The embodied carbon is also important as well as your operational carbon assessment. Therefore, we agree that the early stage design intervention is especially critical. Are there any notable public-private academic partnership initiatives or projects in Taiwan that aim to co-create a blueprint for future sports venues? This is the first question.
Okay. For the first question, yes, early stage design is very important. In Taiwan, this is managed by a central government, such as a Public Construction Commission and the National Land Management Agency. They now promote energy efficiency buildings, which focus on saving energy, reducing waste, and using green materials, all linked to environmental in ESG. When schools and cities apply for funding to build sports centers, they are required to include these green ideas in the plan. Our team mostly work on the operation side, how buildings are used after they are built. So yes, Taiwan does have policies and standards for early stage green design, but since this is not our main area, we suggest talking to experts from those agencies if you want more details.
Thank you. Okay, one more question. What incentives and regulatory mechanisms can the government introduce to ensure long-term compliance and innovation in carbon management among private sports centers operators? What kind of incentives and regulatory mechanisms can the government introduce?
As for second questions, from our view, one of the most successful models in Taiwan is the solar sports court. Here, how it works. A private company works with the school, and the school gives them the land. And the company builds a covered basketball court with a roof made of solar panels. The school doesn't need to pay for the court. It gets a covered space for students to play sports, even when it rains or gets too hot. The solar panel creates electricity, and the company sells it. Part of that money goes back to the school, so everyone wins. The school gets new facilities. The company makes money from green energy. The government or local government doesn't need to pay. These courts are usually made of steel, not concrete, so they cause less pollution. The solar power also helps offset carbon emissions. Okay, I will share my files to you. You can see.
Yes, please. Yes. Yes, we can see your presentation sheet. Yes. Now your page number is 25.
Well, I can control my
Oh, really?
page. Next. Yeah,
It's moving, yes.
Today, more than 600 schools in Taiwan have solar sports courts, and over 400 are already built.
Yes, thank you.
This
I
is
see.
this is the Sanmin High School's solar-powered sports area. You see?
Yes.
With a court, a parking shelter, and a stand. Here, the sports center, the parking canopy, and the spectator stand. Yes, more clearly. It shows how schools, companies, and the local government can work together for a win-win sustainable solution. We believe it is a very good reference for future low-carbon sports venues.
Thank you very much. A lot of examples, win-win model, right? Thank you very much, Dr. Pan. Yes, we have a lot of inspiration. Thank you, Dr. Pan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go on to the third speaker. And for the final session with Shinji Okazaki-san, we would like to make it a little more interactive. Haruki will be leading this part. Haruki, over to you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Okazaki-san, thank you very much for joining us today as a special lecturer from International Pacific University. Today, we'd like to hear from you about the Meister Group and the future making project which you're working on. We hope to learn what kind of mindset and values guide your actions as an individual and as an organization. So now, may I ask you to kindly introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I'm a little bit nervous because I'm first time. I'm first time this kind of those like presentation by online, but I'm very pleased to hear. So yeah, you can check my profile. This. So as I started, I was professional footballer for 19 years. So most people wouldn't have expected this career, maybe. But you know, I did it on the Premier League, and so World Cup 3 times. I was playing World Cup 3 times, but I'm still my dream continue, and now I aim succeed even more as a coach than I did as a player. So I still continue as a coach and try to again World Cup as a coach. Yeah. So thank you for invited me those events. Yeah.
And could you also tell us about the Meister Group that you are operating, you are running?
Yeah, you can see the overview. So we are not just a football club, and we are so gateway. But first thing, so when I was playing for the Japanese national team, I wanted to contribute to society. So I initially thought of creating an academy for kids with my friends. So fast. But the biggest change for me came when I went to Germany, seeing their way of life. So I felt it was completely different from Japan. So the language and culture and environments were all new to me, and I struggled at first. So I don't know, maybe every Asian player is difficult to adapt another culture and so another environment. So no one, of course, they help us, but they don't accept our culture. But I came to accept their culture and way of thinking, and that's when I realized I had changed big. This is very important for me. So change my view and so potential for Japan. And then I simply wanted the kids at Meister Academy to feel this. I thought they should experience life outside Japan. At last once, this is very important for the kids.
Okay.
That's right. And then another things, Meister Group, another thing that surprised me was Germany's environment. I realized how much sports supported their life. So at the moment, I felt that just creating an academy wouldn't be enough in Japan. So it had to contribute to society. So Meister need to support their daily life. So very important. Big change my view.
Okay.
So that's why we aim to create a club that supports the community, expand children's potential, and bring people together. So not just a soccer club. After 10 years, we became this far, and how we want to further improve both club environments. So before our Meister group to Basara Kyogo and slide, can you slide, Haruki? Yeah, this. So you can see our Meister group has two clubs. So one of the Basara Hyogo in Japan. So they have academy. So from under 12 to 18, and also they have top team. So before J League, JFL. So before JFL, and then also we have Germany. So top team Fair Bundesliga, like this 6th division. So we try to help the development for the player. So bring it to Germany. So we are like gateway, So before I explained, and then so we need to change when they play in Japan. Also, they feeling like European is like that, and then we want to go Europe or Germany. So we want to change this mindset. And then also, I play in Leicester City, so they are Thailand owner of Thailand. Of course, I understand, so like feeling Asian player, what struggles, all Asian player when came from Asia to Europe, so very difficult to adapt. So that's why now we have two clubs, but my aim is like Basala Taiwan or Basala Basala Bangkok, or we try to help Asian. So
you are very welcome. Yeah.
That is my aim. So Meister group we doing do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. But in reality, you are not a top professional football club. So the limitations of funding and the human resources make any new initiative difficult. At the same time, you are aiming for truly ambitious things, entering the third divisions of German Bundesliga. you must be facing many obstacles along the way. What is it that keeps you going and supports you these challenges?
It's definitely my comrades that we have been able to keep going. So this is very important, like, comrades. I was responsible for the vision and the funding, but without my comrades' persistence, the organizer wouldn't be where it is today. Changing country as a player shifted my perspective, and starting sharing those experiences with my friends, so helped us grow together. So this is very important. So we grow up together. So I continue because as I've learned as a soccer player, no one follows without results. So I keep challenging myself, so holding on to dreams and visions. So believing they'll become revolutionary for Japan and Asia. So I believe there's value and potential in challenging something that no one has done before. So this is my motivate. Yeah.
Okay. Next, could you tell us about the pitch construction project in Kobe, which you've been working on as one of your future making projects? We hear your club saw this project as an opportunity to contribute to shaping blueprint for future sports pitches, and even using it as a catalyst to form new partnership.
Yeah, so when I went to Europe, I immediately wanted soccer ground because in Germany a lot of soccer field, and so kids playing there. So so Japan's not enough so soccer field. So that's why I try to so making a soccer field. And this time when I heard about this partnership with Parma Boys, so I thought with my comrades that we could create a unique pitch. So I told you before, so not just a soccer field. So this is very important. But a place that support for the community. We want this ground to help children realize, learn, and grow. But people thought the idea was great, so everyone say something. So, this pitch was very good idea, but no one was willing to help without proof or data. Or success stories before. So I decided to take on the challenge myself and prove it through results with my comrades. So connected through soccer, persevered potentially, and that's why we succeeded. Yeah.
And then the facility was completed in April 2021. 3 years later, in June 2024, a partnership agreement was signed with Hyogo Prefecture. It took 3 years to reach this point. How do you think?
Yeah, so I'm not sure because I was playing football player, so like I don't work with comrades, but we've consistently moved forward by showing possibility, through our own challenge rather than asking for support. So we didn't just ask for help, we solved what people needed ourselves. That's why Hyogo Prefecture got involved. It started with the local community, then expanded, leading to our cooperation. This is just the beginning, but it's a huge step. So we'll continue leading the way. Yeah.
After that, a test field was built. And first high school, then second high school,
Yeah.
then came a joint research project with Kobe City, city trees, and public park.
Yeah.
Step by step, the single stone cast by you is creating waves. How do you feel about it now?
Yeah, still not enough. Yeah, always I'm still not enough. So because this is before we don't expect it before like this, but now we did it. So now partnership with Hyogo, and we change Hyogo, but we would like to change Japan, and also we would like to change ASEAN next time, and then also Europe. This is, we should show or prove ourselves. So that's our aim. And also why I stay in Germany, so stay in Europe, because no one want to do it like I before told you, like we are the gateway for the Asia or business or something. So that's why I stay in Europe, and then I want to know how they doing. So European doing that, and I learn a lot, and then I speak to Japan or Asia, and like between the connected Japan to European. So that's our aim. That's my aim. Yeah. Still, keep going. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We are really looking forward to you keep going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Okazaki-san.
Thank you.
It was interesting how you talk about your mindset and values. Actually, that idea is helpful to not only for sports, but also for thinking about company culture. Here we have one question for you.
Yeah.
What mechanism or partnership are needed to replicate the Basara Village Green models across Asia, especially in regions facing extreme heat and lacking public-private collaboration frameworks? What do you think?
So if there are educational institutions or private companies that support what I do, I'd love to spend time in those regions, not just to play football, but also to share what sustainable education in sports mean with children and everyone involved. I believe that by doing so, we may be able to create something meaningful that cannot be easily replicated elsewhere. Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. Oh, its time is coming. Okay, thank you very much, Okazaki-san. ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
Yes. Hey, everyone. Thank you very much. How was today's session? Okay. We hope this webinar helped you think about sports and sustainability and give you some ideas on how you might take action in your own way. And this seminar is concluded. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This concludes today's webinar.
Thank you for everybody's participation. Thanks a lot. Keep in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Harold. Thank you, Harold.
Bye bye. Thank you, Harold. Bye.
Bye bye.